India's elections have attracted the attention of the whole world, and you see a lot of media attention, the Western media covering the Indian elections very carefully. In fact, it is among the topmost reported news in these days if you were to follow any of the foreign newspapers like the New York Times, Financial Times. By addressing two major global conflicts, even while engaged in a major election campaign, Prime Minister Modi has signaled that he takes international responsibility seriously. That brings him on the international radar. It is normally customary during the general elections to treat the incumbent global leaders as lame ducks. However, with Narendra Modi, it seems different. Several world leaders are, although expecting him to return back to power, they are watching at the election commission and how they can freely and fairly conduct the elections. It has been a mystery how they have done it over the decades. Even Freedom House, a US human rights organization whose annual report was condemned in India for calling the country partly free, believes that elections in India have been by and large been free and fair. The report says that the Election Commission is generally respected and has been thought to function without undue political interference. But it also added that in recent years, its impartiality and competence have been called into question. International observers would want to closely watch the Election Commission of India's ability to ensure free and fair polls in these next 2 months. India has proudly remained a democracy since its independence in 1947, despite so many challenges. It is not flawless, but the governments at the state and the center have been changed by peaceful ballots. It's the only non-Western democracy to achieve that repeatedly over such a long period of time. And despite growing criticism, the Constitution of India is still widely respected and its provisions are fiercely guarded by an independent judiciary. And we have a great Chief Justice, Dr. Chandrachud, also been my professor in my Masters in Law, LLM. Critics, both home and abroad, would like the BJP leadership to address many perceptions of hate speech, etc. And they would do that. Results of these elections may reveal if Narendra Modi is really as popular as the current opinion polls suggest. The approval ratings of the leaders of the US and the UK, the two major democracies going to polls this year, are polling at 40% and 25% respectively. In comparison, a February Ipsos India Business survey showed Modi's approval rating has soared to 75%. Modi's popularity with the Indian diaspora has been carefully cultivated through the large meetings he addresses during his foreign trips. That has impressed India's Western partners like the United States and Britain, and whose leaders have attended these meetings. At one point, you had Joe Biden talk that this is the biggest meeting that he has ever seen in his life. With nearly 5 million Indians in the United States and 1.5 in the United Kingdom, the diaspora vote can make a difference in some constituencies. It is unreasonable to suggest that Modi is universally popular among the diaspora, but many Indians staying overseas do take more astute interest in the Indian elections than the ones that they can vote in, and therefore they have the speech, the ability to communicate the ideas to their relatives in India. The Indian economy is another, of course, key reason that the world's audience is paying close attention to the country. It's not just India's size, but also its position as the fastest growing economy among the major countries. The war in Ukraine has adversely affected most of the European economies. Many of them are sinking into a recession, where the Chinese economy, the world's second largest, has also been struggling since the COVID-19 pandemic, despite efforts by Xi to revive it. International Monetary Fund's projection for GDP growth in China this year is only 4.6%. In contrast, its projection for India is 6.5%. Strong economy has opened up new opportunities not only for India but also for other countries that want to take advantage of its huge market. Now that requires a stable political and business-friendly climate, and Modi has been keen to provide that. His Vikasit Bharat vision of making India a developed nation by 2047 is aimed at not just the Indian electorate but across the world. Delhi has signed 3 deals, free trade deals since February this year with the UAE, with Australia, and with the EFTA, the European Free Trade Association. The EU and Britain are among several other nations that are negotiating such deals with India. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has been keen to ink a favorable deal with New Delhi while he's in office, though this seems increasingly unlikely without delivering concessions to Indian post-study work visas, something that has been difficult to do so due to domestic political pressure in the United Kingdom. Modi has succeeded in securing similar provisions for Indian students in USA. As the leading newspaper Financial Times puts it, a clear pattern is emerging in India's trade policy strategy. If companies or countries want freer access to the big and growing markets of the world's 5th biggest economy, then they must offer a quid pro quo. This sums up the Modi government's global business approach. India is willing to help, but it won't provide a free lunch. Also, with a weak opposition in this election, foreign investors see no immediate alternative to doing business with India. Rahul Gandhi's frequent attacks on big businesses are not perceived as helpful to foreign trade. So unless all the pundits go wrong, a Narendra Modi-led government is likely to return in office. Still, eyes are being there that yes, what we hope for a good continuation of and a steady political environment in India, plus many political foreign leaders have established good rapport with the Modi government. They are looking forward carefully whether that will continue and they will be able to hold their dreams of a greater free trade with India. At the same time, Supreme Court's decision on Thursday to put on hold a fact-check unit backed by the center has been welcomed by the international media. They had feared that this fact-check unit would end up being the target of the department during elections. But no. Strong and independent judiciary has been in favor, and all this is being liked by the foreign media. Thus, so much of attention has been there on the Lok Sabha elections 2024 from overseas. One hopes that this trend will continue and there will be free and fair elections over the next few months, ending with the announcement of the poll results on June 4, 2024. Friends, would love to have you on board. Do share our videos if you like them with people who are interested to know about the political environment across the world, economic environment, and of course we have a lot of good predictions about the stock markets going forward, how they're expected to believe over the next few weeks and months. And do WhatsApp us on 9820861044. You can join any of our Telegram packages which aims at giving you more detailed analysis, predictions about the economies and stock markets across the world, primarily United States and India. For this, you can WhatsApp us on 9820861044. Happy investing and have a great week ahead. Take care. Bye-bye.